Hello everybody, today we're going to look at an Underdog toy. It's supposed to talk, but when you squeeze it, it doesn't talk. So hopefully it's just a bad battery. So what we're going to do is, it looks like it's about circa 80s, 1980s is what it looks like. For those of you who don't know who Underdog is, well, he more or less was a superhero dog that was a shoe shine boy who had all kinds of powers, including supersonic hearing. He had laser power eyes, x-ray vision, all kinds of stuff. And of course, when he would hear that people needed help, he would run into his phone booth and just like Superman, turn into Underdog and he could fly. And the funny thing about him is he solved crimes, the way he solved crimes, accidentally, kind of like Inspector Gadget or, Get Smart, if you ever watched Maxwell Smart, Get Smart. But what's funny about him is anything he said, it rhymed. So it reminded me a lot of Dr. Seuss and the way he rhymed when he talked. Every time he talked, it was always a rhyme. So first thing we got to do is I'm going to take this to my mom's and she's going to unstitch it. We're going to take the mechanism out, the voice box. We're going to come back to the lab and we're going to see if we can find out what's wrong with this Underdog. So grab yourself a cup of coffee and let's get started. So, all right, let me see if I can scrounge up the batteries, and then we'll give it a try, see how it goes. Get a little bit of alcohol on the Q-tip. We'll go ahead and clean that off real quick. And yeah, it has a little bit of leakage right there. And then it's not on the metal itself, but I'm going to clean the metal itself. And then we know there won't be no issues with contact anyway. Yeah, shouldn't be any issues with contact this way. No, there's no markings. Yeah, there's markings for polarity. So positive is on this side, negative on this side. So they do have markings on there. You might not be able to see too well, but so my guess is you push down like this, and it activates. So, all right. Well, next step, I guess, is we'll see, can we not find these batteries, and then put them in and see if that fixes the problem. So let me see if I can find some batteries. If I don't have any here, I'll have to go buy them, but either way, we shall be back. All right, guys, so we managed to find some, managed to find some batteries in town. Let's see here. So one of the things that you want to look at when you're replacing these is to make sure you get the right battery. Okay, so we got an equivalent, which is this Duracell 76A. Anytime you're trying to replace the battery, make sure if it's a replacement equivalent that it at least has the right, on the paperwork you see here, it says right there, you can see it says LR44. So we know this is an LR44 equivalent. Your best bet, because this is alkaline, it's not lithium, your best bet is to try to get the right battery instead of a substitute. But since we need this today, we're going to go ahead and use this. Now the difference between alkaline and lithium is lithium will last a lot longer, shelf life, and also usage. Let me tell you guys one of the best kept secret about batteries, though. This is probably something that a lot of you guys may not know. Some of you probably will know. Do you guys remember back in the day you used to buy batteries that had test strips, and that you used to be able to test the battery while it was in the package still? You didn't have to open it to test it. You guys remember that? Duracell, I think, was the biggest manufacturer of those. You guys know why they quit making those? Do you notice that you can't buy those anymore with the test strips? Used to, you could test it right there in the store before you bought it. Now you can't. You can't do that anymore. And the reason why you can't do that anymore is probably one of the best kept secrets in the battery world. And I'm about to show you that. First of all, let me get all these out. I need 3 of them. Let me get all these batteries out. And I'm going to show you something real quick. So if you store these alkaline batteries, you can even take them out and store them. But if you store them, as long as the chemical reaction hasn't started yet, you can store them 2 to 5 years. They should be good as a shelf life on them. But if they were lithium, they'd be good for 10 to 12 years and even up to 20. Okay, now what did I mean by chemical reaction? Well, these are brand new batteries, right? Fresh out of the package, right? I'm going to show you what, let's see here. Yeah, I'm going to show you on the tester here what these should be reading. It should be reading 1.5 volts, should be reading 1.5. So let me go ahead and put it on the tester. Let me get it. DC. Okay, there we go. Yeah, see there, 1.5. Okay, what did I mean by chemical reaction? Well, by testing this battery, I just started the chemicals on the inside. So now this battery is active, right? This battery still hasn't been tested, still hasn't had anything applied to it. This battery that's been started, the chemical reaction, will deteriorate faster than this one. You know, I'm going to use these, of course, right now. So, but the point is, if you're going to store the batteries, make sure that it hasn't been used at all. Like as soon as you start the chemical reaction by testing it, by using it in a toy to see if it works, as soon as you start that, the battery starts to deteriorate, starts working, and it's no longer going to hold its shelf life. That is why the companies quit using the test strips so that you could test it in package. Is because people were doing that and their shelf life was shortened, and all of a sudden people were buying weak batteries or even sometimes bad batteries. So a lot of people don't know that about batteries, but hopefully today you guys might have learned something about that. So let's get this batteries in here and see if our little Underdog will talk. Okay.
There's no need to fear, Underdog is here. There's no need to fear, Underdog is here.
That's all it says?
Underdog is here.
You mean I went through all of this and that's all it says?
There's no need to fear, Underdog is here.
Well, alrighty then. So, yeah. Okay, well, I'm glad that that's all it was. I'm glad that this is all that it was. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. We're going to take this back to my mom's. We're going to get her to sew it back up into the Underdog toy, and there will be one happy little boy. We will be right back with the conclusion of this video. Okay, so the seam only goes down that far.
Right.
And then this...
Well, this has to come out because that was covering up the speaker.
And then that gets stuffed in. And then it gets sewed in. Is it going to fit in there?
Yeah, well, it has to. It come out. Just a matter of...
Whoa, goodness. Oh, goodness. Yeah, you'll be able to hear that through there real easy.
I'll get it sewed in there.
And just sewed in there, and he'll be
well, I got
Underdog will be done. Well, there you have it. We got the Underdog fixed. It's going to be one happy little boy. An eBay find that was only about $10. So obviously he would have probably charged more had it worked, but
there's no need to fear, Underdog is here.
So yeah, let's hopefully there'll be a lot of enjoyment for years to come with this. Yeah, but do remember, guys, that when you have batteries, don't test them and then shelf them. Only test them when you're about to use them. Test them just before installation, because once you do test them, you start that chemical reaction and the batteries will start from that day forward dying. So you're liable to get, you know, one on the shelf and off the shelf and it's dead. So, and that is the reason, that's the big secret as to why companies like Duracell stopped putting the test strips where you could test them while they were still in the package unopened. They do. I have seen them with test strips that you can't use it until you open the package. But yeah, used to back in the day, you could test them before opening the package. And that's why they had to do away with that, was because people were starting that chemical reaction and people were buying weak or dead batteries. So we hope you enjoyed this video, and always remember that every repair starts with a good cup of coffee.
There's no need to fear, Underdog is here.
We'll see you next time, guys.